You pick it up without thinking. Not because you wanted to, not because something important was waiting. You just picked it up. And then 5 minutes became 20. 20 became an hour. And somewhere in the middle of it, a quiet part of you thought, why do I keep doing this? You put it down. You told yourself that was the last time. Then, maybe 30 minutes later, your hand moved again before your brain even gave permission. That moment, that gap between intention and action, that's not weakness, that's not laziness, that's not even a bad habit in the traditional sense. That's your nervous system doing exactly what it was trained to do. Society has a comfortable story about phone overuse. It says you lack discipline, it says you're addicted, it says you just need more willpower, more self-control, more of something you clearly don't have enough of. That story is wrong. And that story is why most people who try to fix their phone use fail within 3 days. Not because they didn't try hard enough, but because they were solving the wrong problem entirely. What's actually happening when you can't put your phone down has very little to do with the phone itself. The phone is not the problem. The phone is the answer to something else, something older, something that was running long before the smartphone existed. And once you understand what your brain is actually doing when it reaches for that screen, the whole thing starts to make a completely different kind of sense. Here's the neuroscience without the textbook version. Your brain has one core job, not happiness, not productivity, not connection. Its core job is to predict what comes next and keep you safe from uncertainty. Uncertainty is genuinely uncomfortable for the human nervous system, not metaphorically, physically uncomfortable. Studies using fMRI imaging have shown that ambiguity and unpredictability activate the same neural regions as physical pain. Your brain, when it doesn't know what's coming, registers that as a threat. Now think about what your phone offers every single time you open it. Something new. Something that wasn't there before. A message, a notification, a post, a story, a comment. Every refresh is a tiny resolution of uncertainty. Your brain gets a microdose of relief, and that relief, even when it's tiny, even when the content means nothing, registers as reward. This is the variable reward loop, the same psychological mechanism that makes slot machines so hard to walk away from. You don't keep pulling the lever because you always win. You keep pulling because you sometimes win, and you never quite know when. Behavioral psychologist B.F. Skinner identified this pattern decades ago. Unpredictable rewards create stronger behavioral loops than consistent ones. Your phone is the most perfectly engineered variable reward machine in human history. It was designed that way by people who understood exactly how this worked. But here's what most conversations about phone use skip entirely. The loop doesn't start in adulthood. It starts much earlier, in the nervous system patterns formed during childhood and repeated life experience. If you grew up in an environment that was unpredictable, emotionally, financially, relationally, your brain learned early to stay hypervigilant, to keep scanning, to never fully relax into stillness, because stillness meant you might miss something, might be caught off guard, might be left behind. That scanning behavior, that constant low-level monitoring of the environment, was a survival strategy. It kept you attuned, it kept you ready. The phone, for a nervous system wired that way, feels like home. It gives the scanner something to scan. It justifies the vigilance. It fills the quiet that otherwise would feel unsettling in a way that's hard to explain to people who don't feel it. Even if your childhood was stable and loving, repeated experiences of boredom being treated as a problem, of stillness being something to fill, of silence being something to escape, those experiences shaped the same neural pathways. Your brain learned empty space is uncomfortable, input is relief. None of this makes you broken. None of this makes you weaker than someone who doesn't struggle with it. Different nervous systems, shaped by different environments, respond differently to the same technology. The person who can leave their phone face down for 3 hours isn't more disciplined than you. They are wired differently, shaped differently, or simply haven't encountered the specific combination of factors that made this particular loop click for you. This is not a moral failure, it is a pattern. And patterns, unlike character flaws, can be understood. And once understood, they can be interrupted. Here's the part that surprises most people. The urge to pick up your phone, that specific moment of reaching, is almost never about what's on the phone. Research in cognitive psychology consistently shows that the behavioral trigger fires before conscious reasoning catches up. You reach first, you think later. Which means trying to resist the urge in the moment, white-knuckling it, using pure willpower, is working against the sequence, not with it. By the time you're consciously deciding whether to pick up the phone, your hand is already moving. The loop doesn't live in your decisions, it lives in your environment, your emotional state, and the automatic responses those two things trigger together. That's the counterintuitive part. The solution to phone overuse is not about the phone. The practical shift that actually works is this, and it sounds deceptively simple, which is why most people dismiss it. You are not trying to use your phone less. You are trying to give your nervous system an equally reliable source of regulation that doesn't require a screen. That could be 3 minutes of slow breathing when you feel the pull. It could be keeping a physical object near you, something textured, something your hands can do something with, that you reach for instead. It could be building a 5-minute ritual into the exact moments where the urge typically peaks. Waking up, waiting, transitioning between tasks. The goal is not removal. Removal triggers deprivation, and deprivation makes the loop stronger. The goal is substitution, training your nervous system towards a different input that offers the same relief without the cost. Start with one moment, one trigger, not your whole relationship with your phone. Just one specific moment when you know the reach is coming and decide in advance what your hand does instead. It sounds small, but behavior change almost never starts big. It starts at the exact point where the pattern first moves, and that point is always smaller than people expect. If this landed somewhere real for you, if something in this felt like it was describing something you've lived but never had the words for, there's something else worth understanding about yourself. Because the same nervous system that makes the phone loop so persistent also carries something else with it, a sensitivity, a depth, an attunement to the world around you that most people don't talk about. That part of you deserves more than a screen.